Well, hello everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I'm just getting set up here for the stream. Got to get Facebook going. Ah, what do you think, Max? What do you think? Is it a Saturday? Is it a Saturday? Hi, Becky. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Jocelyn. Hi, Sharon. Sharon from Raising Caner Mods here. Hi, Marco. No, we're not going outside right now, Max. Hi, Sherry and Suzanne. Well, you're not too happy about that, are you? Hi, Marco and Karen. Hi, Lode from Mississippi. Hi, Esther. Yeah. Kitty cow, give me 5 minutes. What? Yeah, somebody's being noisy. No, it's not a big deal. Mango, I don't think your car's starting today. Hi, Sharon. Started off with tea cow and then it kept going. Yeah. Well, now that we've got live going on both Facebeak and YouTube, yeah, Tico's gonna tell everyone to whisper. Tico's pretty smart. He understands the way of the whisper. Oh, Max, it is very tough to be a bird. You've talked about that before. I know, and you're probably hungry. I bet you're a hungry boy. Are you hungry, hippo? Okay. We'll get an eggie for you, okay? Do you want eggies? Like an eggie? Okay. No, Max, it's really tough to be a bird. Well, everyone's quieted down now that they've seen that I started cooking. My goodness gracious. Right. Every birdie's quiet. Okay, let's move that over a bit. If you're going to stand over there, we'll move the camera a little bit. There. Hi, Suzanne. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. Max had a hatch anniversary this week. We celebrated last week, and we celebrated on the 1st. The 1st being his actual hatch day. Hey, Angie. Angie's joining us over on Facebeak. What's the password? Well, I don't know the password. You want to see what happens? Well, we can't tell people your password. Your password's something secret. You have to keep a different password for every device, and you can't tell anybody. Hi, Barbara. Yay, Barbara made it. Hi, termite. Yeah, you had a great hatch day, didn't you, Max? Yeah. I think every birdie enjoyed the party. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh. That Iggy's hot. Oh. There you go, Facebeak this. Found some grapes that he turned his beak up at earlier. Oh, Sharon, it makes me cringe so badly when I hear someone use the password. Oh gosh, don't do that, folks. I know, Max. I got eggies, but they are still so hot. Eggies are hot. Would you like your eggies in a cone? We can do an eggy cone, but they've got to cool. Got to cool. Hi, French Paul. Hi, Max. That's right. You say hello to French Paul nicely, okay? There. Good job. Would you like some eggies? Gotta cool, gotta cool. I'm literally dancing around the kitchen, waving handfuls of egg in the air, trying to cool them off a bit. Don't want Max to hurt himself by eating something too hot. Oh, are you making music? That's definitely a good toy, Max. Making music. Hi, Mark. Okay, Max. I know you want this. Touch purple. Touch purple. Purple. That's right. Happy egg day. Happy egg day. Do you want some eggies? Yeah, that's right. Well, you're in a better mood today. You want some eggies? Oh, yum. Oh, yum. Are those good, Mango? I know. It's tough. It's so tough to be a bird. Better than yesterday. Every time I handed Mango a snack, he hurled it across the cage and looked at me and just stomped his feet. Right, Max? Okay, one bite at a time. You look like you're trying to inhale that egg. Oh, boy, Max. It's so good to be a bird. Whoops. Yeah, if you're new here, I want to say welcome. Make sure you block up in the live chat. Live chat is really active over on Facebook. Over on YouTube. It's not as busy over on Facebook. Facebook, we've got Jody, we've got PJ, we've got Sharon, Trudy, Carolyn, Kath, Jody, Denise, Nicole M, Sylvia, and Angie. Oh my goodness, it is actually much more active than we've had some days. Would you like another piece of eggie? Here. Okay. Would you like another piece of eggie? Eggie. Well, you can come get it. Good job, Mings. Good job. Happy egg day. I have another piece. Okay. Oh, I'm so hungry, Mama. Dexter sounds like he wants to be part of things. Oh, what's happening, Mark? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your dad, Mark. But Max is sending your dad all of the love, okay? We hope he's feeling better soon. Jokes are pretty scary. Yeah, Max. Okay, Max. Last grape. You want the grape or no? Grapes. Okay, you don't want the grape. No, what's the grape? It's the last grape. Chico. Chico. Chico? Okay. All right. The last grape, honey. I know. I know. What else we have, Max? I'm gonna eat one over here. Nope. It's not what pepper right now. Keep looking at me. Do you like a piece of Canada Day pasta. There we go. It's our little Canada Day pasta. Good job. It's a nice one, isn't it? Cal thought fingers might be on offer. Sorry to disappoint you, buddy. No fingers today. No finger food today. Okay. You have a cup of corn. I'm gonna open it, see if it's any good. Okay, buddy? It's a little dry. Let's see what we got for Cobby. Break this yarn. Good, honey? My goodness. Goodness gracious. Looks super tasty. Okay. Is that good? Would you like a cobby of corn? We have a cobby of corn. Cobby? Fresh corn. Hey. You want a cobby? No, Mom, I don't want the cobby. I do not want the cobby. You're sure being a picky one today. You sure are. Would you like another bit of pasta? Pasta! One more in there. All right. Your morning pasta treats. Okay? Dished up the pasta. I'm looking for coffee. that good, Max? Finish snacks and we'll play some games, okay, Max? What's the birdie to do? What's the birdie to do? You know, Max is going to go off to that cob as soon as he goes back to his cage. I put it in his food bowl. Sometimes Max thinks it's funny to just poke his beak up in the air about something and say no. And it's not that he doesn't want it, it's just it's the wrong time at the wrong place. Apparently, wrong time and wrong place today for corn. Hi, Alex. Hi, Collabs. It's good to see everybody joining us today. Max is just having a bit of a snack, and then we'll play some games. See what Max wants to do today. Just had some eggies. Poked his beak in the air at pepper and corn. He's now nibbling a bit of pasta. But then it will be party time, right, Max? You sure had a party this week. Max, you're 31 years young. Isn't that amazing? How does it feel to be 31? Hi, Mango. I have not forgotten about you, honey. How does it feel to be 31? Okay. I'll put some of these in your cage too, okay? See, you're not being left out. There. Hi, Keisha, or Kissa. Well, right now he's eating, so I'll ask him if he wants to do some noises after he finishes eating. Because if he's eating, the answer's going to be no, because his beak's full. You almost done, buddy? Are you having fun there, Max? Max is older than Mango. Mango's 26. Max is 31. Max is 5 years older. Yeah, it was a little bit of crunchy pasta. To Max. Can I get a back? In the mood to back? Are you happy? Do you know it? Can I get a back? Not right now, Mom. Max was eating some pasta. I'll show you, Alex. I'll bring it over to the camera. It's these really adorable little Canada flag shapes. Yeah, he got some specialty pasta. Tico is a year younger than Max. And T-Cal is the 50-year-old. My goodness. A buck. I know T-Cal is really tough to be a bird. Let me just see if I can cut this, okay? Woo! Did not intend to do that. Woo! Let's see. Oh, got sirens outside. Yeah, that's the ambulance, guys. You turn it towards the pond. I know, I'm just trying to cut the corn for you, Mango. You've got the one cob and you gotta share it for everybody, okay? There. There, we cracked that nicely. Great. I'll double check about the corn in a minute. I've got a smaller piece that Max might like. Hi, Shirls Park. Einstein. Yeah. So Max had an exciting week. He had 2 parties. He had a party on last Saturday, and he had a party on his actual birthday, which is the 4th. All right, I cut this one down a little smaller, honey. It's corn. Did you want this corn? No? Okay. I'll give it to your brother then. You've got corn inside your cage for when you want it. So we had 2 parties. Canada Day, the 1st, is his actual hatch day, or the day that we celebrate. And we also threw a party on the Saturday because we know not everybody could make it. And what we did for Max's hatchiversary is we did a fundraiser for our friends over at Greta's Roost. And we said, in lieu of gifts, it might be nice if people could support our friends over at Greta's Roost. And we set up a GoFundMe. That GoFundMe is still live if you are looking. We started it on TCal's 50th hatch day, and we ran it straight through to Max's 31st hatch day. I'm hoping that we can still raise a few more dollars for it, so that is still live. But when I last checked, we're over $1,000 for Greta's Roost, which is amazing. Each and every one of you are amazing. And in a little bit, I'm going to do a call out. In about 10 minutes, I'll do a call out of everybody who donated, because I think it's awesome to recognize people. John's joining us from his phone, so awesome. But Raising Cane's going to go ahead and share that link. And if you're on Facebook, it should be a pinned comment at the top of the chat. And that leads you right over to the GoFundMe. You can also find it right off of our website, www.maxthemoluccan.com. You can donate directly to Greta's if you want as well. You know, however you want to do things. But we thought we'd do a GoFundMe because, you know, we know our folks out there are amazing. We really do. My goodness, Max, that's good coffee today. That really, really is. $1,013, Raising Cane says. That is so awesome. And as I tell people, there's three ways you can support our GoFundMe for Parrot Rescue for Greta's Roost. Number 1, the obvious one is to donate. Number 2 is to interact with posts that are talking about it. Like, comment, interact with those posts. The more interaction a post gets, the more likely people are going to see it because Facebook and YouTube show things to people that they perceive people want to see, and your engagement says that people want to see it. And number 3 is to share the fundraiser. Even a small donation, even $1 makes a difference, folks. John's telling us about his new parrot named Atlas, who's very talkative. French Paul, we are going to add up supers in the chat towards it as well. And we need to sit down and do the math on that. But we'll do that as well. We'll do that with this Hatchiversary chats. So I'm thinking there's a couple hundred there as well. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Mango. Mango, did you want some corny corns? Want a corny corn? Do you want to put your beak up to the corny corn? Yeah. No corny corns. All right. Yeah. But yeah, Max had a really good day. You know, a week and a half ago, we went to visit the seniors, and we've been sharing some videos from that. We went with the Calgary Parrot Club. So you saw a lot of our friends on those videos. You saw Brian. Yeah, Max loves Brian. Well, Max is taking a quick little nap, and then we'll be good to chat and go again. But yeah, so Brian brought his gray frost and a couple of his Amazons. I think Sid was one in the video. But yeah, he's got a couple of Amazons. Tease him for having a weakness there. So, and also Kiwi, little tiny guy, Kiwi, a little conure. But yeah, no, lots of good people came out to that visit. We had lots of fun. The seniors love seeing Max. We had an interview by CBC News at that event, and it was CBC Radio News, so the eye-opener. And they ran that segment this Wednesday, and we've linked to it we've got it off of our Facebook, or off of our website page, maxthemoluccan.com. And the reason we do that is because Meta does not allow us to share links directly. Any news links we're not allowed to share on Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. Super frustrating. So if we put it on our webpage, then we can share our webpage, and that has all of where Max has been featured in the news. And yeah, it was a fun little interview. Apparently, TCal wants an interview right now. I know, TCal, it is so tough to be a bird. It really, really is. Who wants snackers? You want a little snack, honey? Are you so hungry? That's right, Teeks. You're such a good boy. Hi. You want one? It tastes better when I hand it to you. It sure does. Hey, Max. Here. You want one? All right, little tiny bit. Little tiny bit. All right. So yeah, Max had lots of fun visiting the seniors. Coffee, always a good idea. Always a good idea. Yeah, Max was super well behaved with the reporter. He went and sat with her, not just for a photo, but he got right down the comfy and settled in. He did his best not to eat the microphone, and he was actually successful. He did not eat the microphone, although I was a little nervous and I had to remind him a couple times it was not edible. Max was definitely curious about it. I know somebody puts a microphone right in your face. What are you supposed to do, Mango? Would you eat it too? Yeah? You probably grab it and fling it, right? You're the king of fling. I know what Mango wants. Mango probably wants a carrot. Mango really loves carrots. Got a piece of carrot for you if you want one, Max. I'll ask, do you want a carrot? Carrot? Not right now. Mango, do you want carrot? Carrot. Oh, yes, Mama, we got carrots. Want carrot? No? You want carrot? If you have a carrot, you'll be able to see in the dark. Oh, such a good boy, Mango. Mango likes to eat the inside of the carrots. Sweet, sweet carrot core. Hi, Daryl. John says Atlas loves carrots too. Yeah. Mark has a double yellow-headed Amazonic conure and 2 cockatiels. Oh, so awesome. Yeah, so we were talking about the seniors home visits, and Max really loves doing those. He loves to get out. He loves to make friends with people. Yes, Max. So this week, what's coming up? It's Calgary. And has anybody heard of what Calgary bills as the greatest show on earth? That's right, folks. The Calgary Stampede is here. Whip out your cowboy hats and let's hear a good yahoo. It's Stampede time, Max. And you know what, Max? That means Stampede breakfasts. If the weather's nice tomorrow, we'll take you to a Stampede breakfast. We talked to our friend Lori, and she's going to go. And maybe we'll see if some of our other friends want to meet us there too. Yeah, parrot party at the breakfast. Stampede breakfast, for those of you who are not aware, are events that are held in Calgary every Stampede. The tradition goes back to chuck wagon races, where, excuse me, chuck wagon races where the chuck wagon racers had to put together a little iron stove at the end of the race, and that was part of the race. And one day, one of the people with the stove decided to start cooking some pancakes and call them flapjacks and share them out just as a note of hospitality, and the tradition was born. But it's a free breakfast, and you see these big griddles all over town, and you just walk up, you help yourself, you know, there's people flipping the flapjacks. There's usually flapjacks, which are pancakes, and sausages, and coffee and juice. Sometimes there's baked beans. You're sounding pretty loud there. So if you dropped it, it's up to you to go down and get it. Because I'm not picking it up for you. That's right. Go, go. But yeah, so they're held all over the city. And there's always music and entertainment. Large crowds. Last year, Max went to a couple and he really enjoyed himself. He went, he saw the flapjackers and everything else. Max got a pancake, got a mini pancake, and he decided he wanted to carry it all the way home. Where you got the pancake, we were a half-hour drive from home. So Max carried it all the way home and had the pancake when he got home, which I found highly amusing. Super sticker from French Paul, £1.99. Thank you. Oh, sorry, euro, €1.99. You're a big bird, and you're a noisy bird, honey. What's a noisy bird to do? Why are you so noisy today? You got ABs, you got snacks. Yeah? Did you have a snack attack? Did you have a snack attack? Yes, you did. You did. Here. What's this? I know, it's so tough to be a bird. Yeah, but Max loves to go to the Stampede breakfast, and everybody at the breakfast seems to think that Max is part of the entertainment. Yeah, Tico just gave us a very loud stage whisper. I wanted to remind everybody to be quiet. So we were talking a little bit about the GoFundMe for Parrot Rescue, and I'm going to go through and just do a thank you to every birdie who donated. And I'm going to do a quick call out. All right. So just opening it up, we are at $1,013. Mango! That's right. Mango. Shh. You're very loud to be a bird. Did you know that I need to read something out loud, and that means I need to go sit down beside? Yeah. I know Mango does not like me sitting. He seems to think if I sit down beside the computer, I'm going to ignore him. Wait, I sit down in front of the computer when I work, right? So donations, the GoFundMe, we're total right now is $1,013 Canadian. We have Anonymous for 13, Anonymous for 22, Anonymous for 9. Everyone else I'm going to do first name and last name. We've got Leslie E. We've got Sharon S. Carly L. Sylvia N. Really generous from Sharon S. as well. Carrie T. Jennifer H. Debbie P. Anonymous for 34. Jeff N. Linda S. Thank you, Linda. Heather K for 68. So generous. Hi, buddy. Yeah. Let's keep going. Anonymous for 68. Peter H. Generous at 56. Deborah F. Sherry W. Oh my goodness. Sherry W. over 100. Thank you, Sherry. Oh my goodness. Jocelyn T. Marco V. Cheryl K. Natalie M. Kaylin B. Susan H. Karen W. 100 from Karen W. So generous, Karen. We appreciate everybody who's donated, and we're still going. Raising Cane. Thank you, Raising Cane. Anonymous for 100. And I think that I know who that Anonymous is. And it's one of Max's uncles. Peter H. and Sylvia N. Oh my goodness. Thank you, each and every one of you. But yeah, really amazing how much we've raised for Greta's Roost. Here. Is that good, honey? And then we've got some stuff off the supers as well. French Paul just sent us another €3 and a super sticker. Thanks, French Paul. Oh my goodness, we're excited. We really, really are. One thing I'm going to remind everybody, when you donate to the GoFundMe is in Canadian dollars. And if that means if to donate $100 Canadian, it's Alexa, what is $100 Canadian in US dollars?
According to an Alexa answers configured, 100 Canadian dollar equals $81.46 United States dollar.
So with the current exchange rate, $81 US will get you a $100 Canadian donation. So $8 US is $10 Canadian. $4 US is $5 Canadian. And the euro is also really favorable as well. So yeah. I know very tough to be a bird. It really is. I hear someone quacking. Quack, quack. Drop that in there, okay? Ding. Ding. Here. Oh, you're hungry. I know you are. I know you are. That is so good, honey. So good. Does it taste better when I hold it for you? It sure does. Another one. Yes. Oh yeah, it tastes better when I hold it. I see. I see. But yeah, no, it's just amazing how much we've raised for Parrot Rescue, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, Mango's being a little bit noisy. Oh my goodness, Raisin Kane just gifted 5 Max the Moluccan memberships. Wow, good timing. I was just looking at the screen. So memberships, when they're gifted, they are random. And I'm just going to read them out. We've got Pamela, Yes Me, The Fish Gamer, Jill R, and Jen. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships, Sharon. That is so amazing. Mango, you're noisy. But yeah, memberships, we've got memberships available on both Facebook and YouTube. They've got different perks. Facebook, we've got a supporters channel, Max the Moluccan supporters, and that channel we do some extra content on. We have some extra goodies on there. Mango, that's pretty noisy. That's pretty rude. Noisy and rude. Do you want some of this? You're so noisy. Here, would you like this? Take it out of my hand, not my hand. Okay. So I'll finish talking about memberships. So memberships over on Facebook, you get some extra recognition, an extra group that you can interact in. It's we do some extra content there, some behind the scenes. It's a way of supporting the channel. On YouTube, supporters on YouTube get some really special emojis. Shh. And they're pretty fun. I know Sharon's going to toss them up in the chat. You get early access to our weekly videos Monday to Friday. Our regular length videos, not the shorts, but the regular length ones. We release those as soon as we upload them to supporters. We have some behind the scenes content, some extra photos and some stories from behind the scenes. So, fun stuff there. Now, I'm just going to get back to the computer here. Now, French Paul sent another super sticker for €5. And Barbara sent one for $2.99. French Paul and Barbara, oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you. Amazing. John, John says when he can afford it, he'll become a member. That's quite okay. Membership is optional. What you can do, you can support the channel for free as well. Watch our videos. That's it. Comment on our videos. Like our videos, subscribe. That really matters as well. We're coming up on a really cool milestone over on Facebook. We're getting really close to 100,000 followers on Facebook. We're a ways away still on that for YouTube, but 100,000 on Facebook is pretty amazing. And that's been one of our goals. It's just such an amazing number. It really, really is. So we're going to get there. I'm thinking within a week or two, we're going to hit that 100K and we're going to have a party for that. And YouTube, our next big milestone on YouTube is going to be Mango. Shh. Our next big milestone on YouTube is going to be 40,000 followers, and we're close to that. Yeah, Mango's the one screaming right now. And I'm getting a little bit frustrated with Mango. So Max, would you like to play some birdie games? I've got some tissue for you. Let's play some tissue games. Hey. Oh. Yeah, that was decorating the wall behind you last week for your party. For Max's 31st hatchiversary party. And I didn't let you tear it up then, did I? Yeah, you had a pretty good party. And you were interviewed, that's right. Anne-Marie, Max was interviewed on CBC, the Eye Opener, along with some of his friends from the Parrot Club. And we talked about a lot of the good work that the Parrot Club does. Fundraising for the Parrot rescues, education, outreach, things like the seniors visits, things like the barbecue and Palooza. All sorts of good stuff, right, Max? Everyone else is being quiet now. Is that fun paper? Yeah, Max likes his tissue paper. I actually had to move things so he did not take down the tissue paper by himself. He, when I first put up the decorations, they were within beak reach, which is why I could not go with the red and white theme I originally had planned. And I had to go red and multicolor. Good job, Mango. Or Max. What are you doing, Mango? You've been quiet. You're doing a good job too, Mango. I'm proud of you. Yeah. Yeah, we have hawks here. We live near the edge of the city. We have hawks. Right now we have some absolutely adorable baby bunnies. They're so tiny and they're around. One of my neighbors has petunias down the way. Actually, a lot of people here have petunias for flowers. We're starting a bit of a trend. So we have petunias, a direct neighbor has petunias, and one of our friends down the way has petunias. And I'll bring you some in a minute, honey. She sent me a photo. Mango, did you want some of this? Here. I know it's not fair that your brother gets it all, huh? Here. You want some of this? Yeah. You want some? We're gonna thank you. Look. Look, look. Here. All right, back to yours, honey. Yeah, Mango's got a piece too now. Yeah, he's lucky. But she said hers were not doing too well, and she sent me a video. She had a gopher. Gophers are small little animals, otherwise known as a Richardson ground squirrel. And the gopher was busy enjoying her petunias. He was eating them bud by bud. He was just popping them off and stuffing his little cheeks. Gophers are, how do you describe them? They're a little bit larger than a chipmunk, and they don't have stripes. And they are everywhere. Right, Max? Yeah. What the heck, Max? Go, go, go. Pull, pull. Pull. Yeah. Squirrels, yeah. A little smaller than a squirrel. Hey! Emily's saying Mom sometimes gets names mixed up. Yeah, I do the same thing. I go down the list. Mango, shh. That was so well timed, Chico. Okay. Mango, did you want some paper? Did you want some paper? You're distracting Max. Says you're being really noisy. Sis. You don't so much want the paper, you just want me to play the paper with you, huh? Okay. Good job, Mango. All right, Max. I'm gonna just go over to, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's amazing. Right now we've got French call. I don't know exactly how much I have to do the addition, but right now we're up to 26.86 Canadian. And today's supers are going to help out Parrot Rescue, and we'll take those directly over to Greta's Roost with the fundraiser. Add them on. I know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Max. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Raisin Keen says, Nicole, I'm just saying you're a real mom because you get the names mixed up. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it, T-Cal? It sure is. Hi, you made a big mess, Mango. You made a mess. Do we want to play some music? Play the music? Here. I'll bring over the singing bowl. Ah. The flock really loves the sound of the singing bowl, and they love music, and they especially like music, not just from the radio, but anything live. I'm going to show you a toy that I picked up. No, Max, you cannot play this one yourself. It's really, really light wood, but it's a kalimba. So pretty to dance to, Max. I'm just playing random. I'm not playing any specific song. Max really enjoys it. Yeah. Max likes to play music as well. He's been a little bit too aggressive with his toy piano recently. And I don't need it destroyed. I know, Max, it's really tough to be a bird, isn't it? But notice how calm everybody is now that we've just had a little bit of music. And they really do prefer live music to the radio. They do like the radio, but they prefer live. And just listen to how calm everybody is right now. Max is swaying and dancing a little bit. Yeah, and Calgary Stampede already started. Sneak a Peek was Thursday, the Stampede Parade was yesterday, and yeah, so 10 days of Stampede. We're probably going to hit a Stampede breakfast, maybe tomorrow, Max, if the weather's nice. No, we did not take Max to the Stampede Parade this year. We thought about it, but there were a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I was actually waiting for a courier that actually did not arrive, so I stayed home all day yesterday waiting. I wanted to make sure I was available for it. But the Stampede Parade is a really big parade. It's a long parade. I'm going to say about an hour for it to pass, maybe an hour and a half. Lots of stuff, and the crowds are huge. This is a parade where people go the night before, 9 o'clock the night before, they'll go downtown and they'll set up lawn chairs. It's a little bit bizarre. So it's a pretty big event. And if you want to go dance the Stampede Parade, you either drive downtown hours early to get parking, or you take transit. Now Max is not going to get onto crowded transit too easily. Transit usually will say that, Mango, transit will usually say that animals need to be in carriers. Carrying Max's carrier with him is a little bit much. That's an awful lot to carry. And if it's crowded, I don't want to be holding Max just in my arms in a crowded C-train car or something. That's not fair to him. It's not just getting there, but it's also getting home when hundreds of thousands of people are all trying to exit the core all at once. So yeah, I thought that might not have been the best idea. Marco, so glad you joined us. Yeah, so glad you joined us. But yeah, so we didn't do that, but we're probably going to do some Stampede breakfasts. Max really enjoys those. Mango. Notice how Mango quiets down as soon as he hears live music as well, and he got a little bit annoyed until I walked over. And yeah, they really do like the sound of music, even if I'm playing What I'm playing right now is I'm just calling it wind chimes because it's just random notes. I'm not trying to play anything specific. Yeah, are you having a good day, Max? I'm gonna hop over to Facebook and check out comments. I've got a friend from Vietnam over in comments, which is pretty cool. No, Kenville, we do not sell parrots. We absolutely do not. We actually don't believe in commercial breeding of parrots for the pet trade, and I'll talk about that for a minute. The reason we don't believe in this, these birds do not make good pets. It's not fair to them to have them inside of a house. So, hey, what are you doing? You've got them inside of a house. Absolutely. Max is a rescue. Max, he was living in a basement. So this is a better life for him than living in a basement. And I've made a commitment to him to give him his best life possible. But birds are noisy. They make a huge mess. They're expensive. Yes, they can bite, and they need a ton of attention. Unless you are prepared to adopt a toddler, especially a toddler for life, you don't want a large bird. They are a ton of work. What happens all too frequently is somebody will go to a breeder, see a baby bird and say, oh my gosh, so cute, I want one. Well, that's sweet, I'm glad you want one. But it's not like a commodity that you buy off of a store shelf. It's a lifetime commitment. The bird's lifetime, not yours. Those baby birds, the baby African gray or the baby Amazon, they can live 50 to 60 years. Are you prepared to make a 50 to 60 year commitment? Are you even able to? Some of the cockatoos, like the Moluccans, if everything goes right, and this is the same for any bird age range. I mean, it depends on their health. It depends on their diet. It depends on exercise. It depends if there's any pre-existing conditions. You know, there's so much that is going on with birds. So when you say the age range, that can vary a lot. But Max, if he's healthy, he could easily outlive me. He could make it to 80, 90, 100. And yeah, and it's my responsibility to make sure that I provide for him and the other flock members for my entire life and their entire life. Mango came to me because his people were getting older and were no longer able to provide for him and care for him. Yeah. So he came to me as a second home, which is fine. But the people buying babies, they don't understand what they're getting into quite often. And it's not uncommon for a cockatoo, for a baby cockatoo who's bought from a pet store. After a couple of months, somebody thinks, wow, this thing's noisy and it bites. Yeah. It's trying to communicate with you. You don't know what to have to communicate with it. When you spent so much attention with them in the start and then you lock them in a cage. Is it any surprise that bird is biting and acting out? So that cockatoo, or maybe it's another species, ends up being rehomed again. And now they're a few months old and they're on their second home. You know, their breeder, their first home, their second home. It's not uncommon for cockatoos, especially, to go through multiple homes by the time they're 2. And then we wonder why they have some behavioral problems. Well, I don't blame it. I don't blame them. It's pretty tough. But most people are not equipped. What I like about the rescues, and one of the reasons I encourage people to go through rescues, the rescues are going to vet you. They're going to make sure that you know what you're getting into and you're able to provide a suitable life for the flock. They're going to make sure that you understand what you're getting into. They're not going to sugarcoat it. If that bird has behavioral problems, they're going to tell you about it up front, and they're going to hook you up with someone like Parrot SOS to help you. Yeah, rehoming can be really, really hard. And in most cases, it's not possible to return these birds to the wild. So yeah. So I really do encourage people, if you want a bird, go get yourself a stuffed animal. Seriously. Now, when it comes to some of the smaller birds, like we've got some smaller birds like the budgies and the cockatiels, they are better suited for life in a home. They're smaller, they're not as complex as the larger birds. Yeah, Sylvia was saying she had a rescue. And I'm just scrolling back. And Sylvia had a budgie who loved Frank Sinatra. That's so sweet. Yeah. Shh. But yeah, you just listen to Mango right now. He's telling me off. He's saying, hey, you were playing music and you stopped. I want you to continue playing wind chimes. I know, Mango, and he wants me to stand up right beside his cage when I do it, because that's when he knows he's got the best attention. But yeah, you don't get one of these birds expecting to have somebody who's cuddly and best behaved all the time. And I do try to talk about this often, because quite often you see Max on his best behavior. And you don't see, 21 years ago when Max came to live with me, he would bite, he would scream nonstop. I could not handle him. I would hold my hands to my ears and, oh my goodness, it was just amazing. I'm in awe how well he has settled in, and the bird that he is today, I did not expect it at all. I did not expect it at all. And I honestly see every walk that we go on, every time he puts on a harness or a hoodie or gets into his carrier in the car nicely, that's a gift. But it took years and years and years to get to this point. But what happened to Max, it's a common story for a lot of birds. Not just Max, but a lot of cockatoos, a lot of other larger birds. Somebody buys them as a baby. They have the best of intentions. They give that bird the world for the first couple of months. And then life happens, and they start to get bored with their new toy. The first mistake they made was assuming that they bought a new toy. They actually adopted a living, breathing creature. But then they start leaving the bird in the cage more. And they stop interacting with them. And the bird acts out for attention. And it just goes into an absolute cycle. And then the bird wants attention, and the person's not listening, and the bird gets frustrated and bites the human. You know what? Biting is a form of communication. If you're not listening to the bird, they may have to resort to using their beak. Now, that's a pretty loud shout, but it does happen. And they can also learn the behavior of how to bite and how to get their way. But it turns into a cycle, and before you know it, that bird is spending most of their time inside of the cage, not getting the interactions that they crave, not getting the socialization, and not getting their needs met. They might be getting food and shelter, but emotional is a huge, huge ask. It really, really is. So it's, I always encourage people, adopt, don't shop. The rescues are overflowing. Even rescues like Greta's Roost, Greta's does something really interesting. They do a foster-based rescue, which means they don't pay for a facility. They have a network of foster homes throughout southern Alberta who they place the birds in while they're settling them in. So if a bird first goes to somebody like Greta's Roost, what happens is the first thing they do is they take that bird to the vet. And they make sure that bird is healthy and does not have any conditions that need treatment. It's really important. The next thing they do is they assess what does the bird need for physical needs. quite often birds will come in cages that are inappropriate, or they'll come in without cages. And if the cage is too small, the bird can't stretch his wings. The goal is not to give the bird a huge aviary and never interact with them, but the times that the bird needs to be inside the cage, you want to have sufficient space for the bird to run around, stretch the wings, and be a bird. You would not like to be locked in a small closet. They make sure that, so not only large enough, but they check the condition of the cage. Are bars broken? Does it have rust on it? And quite often, if that bird is older, those cages can be damaged. They can have rust, they can have missing paint. And it may not be safe or appropriate for that bird to be in that cage. So, that's one big expense that they do right off the bat. In addition to the vetting, it's making sure proper housing. Then they get to know the bird. They have the information given to them by the owner, the previous owner, and they also get to know the bird, and they assess the bird themselves, and they figure out what the personality is and what that bird likes and does not like. One thing that really surprises me is the number of people that will drop a bird off to a rescue and give a story. And that story is not the same as the reality. They'll say, oh, my bird's absolutely sweet, it's never bitten anybody, great with family members, loves kids. And the first thing that bird does is that bird, first interaction with the rescue is that bird turns into a velociraptor. And the rescue person is bleeding and sort of thinking a little bit about some of the scars and bite marks on the previous owner's hand. And then the rescue opens up the letter that was left with the bird. And that letter says, I just can't handle this bird anymore. He's biting nonstop. He's screaming nonstop. Now what do I do? So sorry, but I had to dump him. And it's like, no. Walk into the rescue and tell them what's going on. It's important to be honest with them. Sometimes even rescues will have somebody come in and say, hey, I can't handle this bird anymore. I love him dearly, but I can't handle this behavior. And they'll talk to the person. They'll say, well, there's an option here. And they might put them in contact with somebody like Parrot SOS and see if there's an opportunity to help that person understand the bird and modify the behavior. Is this a relationship that can be saved? It's no different than a married couple going in for some family therapy. Sometimes that's all that they need for the marriage to continue. Other times it's, time for a divorce. But it's really no different. It's a relationship, right? But all too often, it's not a good situation for the birds. I'm just going to catch up here on comments. I know I've gone off on a little bit of a rant here about rescue. But I think it's so, so important. Yeah, Sylvia says her budgie was 9 years old and his mother had to go to a nursing home. Absolutely. Budgies are so sweet. Hi, Sined. Yeah. Reason Kane has a great comment here, and I'm just going to read it out loud. If you are thinking about getting a bird, go volunteer to rescue first. It will help to understand what's involved. Absolutely. And, the other thing about birds, people will say, I want that one, he's pretty. He's fully feathered. He talks. And he sits on a perch nicely. You know what? You're looking for a unicorn. Not all birds talk. Some birds pluck, and they're beautiful just the way that they are. You're not picking up something just for aesthetics. Every bird has behaviors. Max has his tantrums. Max has his moments. Max gets upset. He gets frustrated with me. I get frustrated with me. It's constant learning with Max. I'm still learning, and he's been with me 21 years, and I'm still learning how to better relate to him. And we keep building up our relationship. He's learning to trust others. He's going to new situations, but it's a lifetime situation. It's not just a one-off. But no, he makes a huge mess. First thing I do when I walk into the bird room, I grab a broom and I sweep up because there is that much detritus on the floor. The birds have been throwing stuff out of the cage. They've been chewing on stuff. They've made a big mess. They've tossed food. They've tossed bits of toys. They need to chew constantly, keep their beak in shape, and keep entertained. I mean, you would not want to be sitting in a room with nothing to do for hours on end. You need entertainment too, right, Mangle? Yeah. Toys are often being destroyed, which is a good thing. Not good for your pocketbook, but it's good for the toys. Different birds have different types of toys that they like. Mango likes wood that he can destroy. He likes puzzle toys. They've got to be really super heavy duty. And he loves his little chain. He likes to chew on it, stainless steel chain. Max likes to chew on some wood. He loves to play tent under paper. He loves to forage under paper. Tico likes bells, and he loves foraging toys or foraging foods like squash and pumpkin. Really loves tearing that up. It's delicious and it's fun. And then Tical, he varies what he likes to play with. But I mean, they even, right now I'm just playing a little bit of wind chimes for them. And that's what I'm calling what I'm playing on the kalimba right now. It's just random notes. And they're enjoying that in the background. But yeah, they are a huge amount of work. So, think twice before you adopt. Anytime somebody says, I really want one, the first thing I say is, no, you don't. Because I know they're going to listen to me. And I know they're going to, if I can make somebody think twice and make sure that they're going into it, eyes wide open, I'm doing them a huge favor and I'm doing the bird a huge favor. Every bird has different personalities, very different. And you don't know what those personalities are going to be. And it amazes me, just bird to bird, how many different personalities there are. You've seen Mango, you've seen Max, you see some of our friends like Hitchcock and Q and Thumper. Every birdie is different. Every birdie has different needs. Every birdie has different ways of approaching the world, just like you and I do. You can't say, oh, I'm going to have a kid and that kid is going to be just like me, is going to love classical music, is going to eat healthy and become a world famous athlete. That child may have their own ideas and they're an individual. Nature versus nurture. There's an awful lot of nature. I know somebody who has had a number of kids. One is living on their own, have a family of their own, they've got grandkids, really well adjusted, great member of society, and they've got younger kids as well. One of them's super well behaved, and the other is feeling their oats might be a way to put it. They're too young to really understand what they're doing, but they're getting into all sorts of trouble, and it does not matter how much that parent does and how much attention and how much care. They're dealing with an individual and they're dealing with therapists and everybody else, and they're really struggling. And I mean, my heart goes out to them. These are people who I think would be a Parent of the Year contender just by the amount of time, effort, and attention they lavish on their child. They don't have all the money in the world, but they make up for it. They've got the love, they've got the attention, they're always there. They're always making sure the child knows that they're there, but their child pushes them away and hangs with the wrong crowd. And you can only control so much. You can't just lock somebody up. So it's amazing to see just the differences. But you never know what you're going to get. And, with the bird, you cannot just say, oh, I don't like this one. He stopped behaving nicely. I'm going to give him back. It does not work like that. Max, I had no expectation that he would become the bird that he's become. And I think that he's a great little poster child for rescue. Because he was living in a basement. He knew how to bite and scream, and he absolutely hated me at first sight. He hated the world. Yeah, I don't think it was anything personal against me. He just hated the entire world. And, he'd bite me as soon as he looked at me. He'd scream nonstop. He was really angry with the world. And now look at him. He's really well adjusted. He has a life that is full of adventure. He has lots of stimulation. But sometimes I think, I wish I could do more for him. I wish I could do more. I spend hours and hours a day with the flock members, just giving them the attention that they want and desire. And each bird has different ways they want to interact with me. Mango does not like to sit quietly. He is super full of, you're full of beans, aren't you, honey? He likes to run around. He's actually enjoying a little bit of a music concert right now. And I think he might want a bath and a pedicure today. Would you good, honey? Yeah. Do you want this? Well, this one's mine. This one's not for little beaks. You can play with the xylophone. You got a stick for the xylophone. You like that sound, don't you? But it's, you meet the birds where they're at, you give them what they need and what they want. Mango does not like sitting still for more than 30 seconds at a time. He likes to run. He likes to get into a little bit of everything. Weston says 28. Yeah, I'm in my 50s, and, my oldest flock member is Tikal, who's 50. And Amazon's typically 50 to 60 years, but there's always outliers. And Tikal's doing great. I'm probably going to outlive Tikal. But the same might not be true of other flock members. I mean, Tico's 29, Max is 31, Mango's 26. It's quite conceivable that I may have to find them another home in my lifetime because I'm no longer able to care for them because of age. And that's kind of heartbreaking, just trying to find the right situation for them. But you do your best. You do your absolute best. Mango's still in contact with his original family, which I think is really important. He has visits from Pips and Pops. He's probably overdue one right now. And no, honey. And yeah, I know. Oh, you're going to chew some wood. Good job, Mango. Like that, honey? So pretty, guys. Yeah, we played music, didn't we? All right, I'm going to go back to comments here because I feel I've missed some comments. So thank you, Sharon, for sharing the links for Parrot SOS. Yeah. Hi, Amelia. Hi, Wild Birds. Hi, Am. Yeah, not every bird is going to be hand tamed. Not every bird is going to be what you envision having a bird is. Same as kids. You never ever know what you're going to get. Yeah. But yeah, if you if you want to support birds, adopt a local rescue. Volunteer there, send them some money, help them support their flock members. Help us support Greta's Roost. We think that that's a really, really great way to support parrot rescue. And one of the reasons I picked Greta's Roost is because that's where Mango might have gone if he did not have a home here. And the rescues, they don't necessarily keep you in contact with the original family. There's no stipulations there. And they may not even be able to give much of an update on that bird once that bird goes through rescue. They'll probably be able to say, hey, we found a situation where they're with a loving family that's, yada, but they're probably not going to have updates. And, that bird might even get renamed. And that can be absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah. Oh, Karen, thanks for hanging out with us. But yeah, we were able to provide a situation for Mango where he is able to stay in contact with his original family. So yeah. Well, folks, I'm noticing it's getting a bit late. We've been chatting for a while, and because I started playing wind chimes for the birds, I'm honestly going to start calling out wind chimes. They calmed down and they were well behaved, but I've been walking around in circles, giving them some attention. The link to the GoFundMe is pinned at the top of Facebook, and I know Sharon just shared it in the chat. It's a great way to support Parrot Rescue. We're going to tally up all of the supers that we got on Max's parties and here, and add that one to the total as well. Oh, Cheryl's Park, so glad to see you. Barbara, so good to see you. Yeah, I know. It's, I've just been hanging out, and it's been a lot longer than planned. Tomorrow, we're probably going to go to a Stampede breakfast, so stay tuned for some really fun footage from that. We'll share out some Stampede playlists from last year as well, just if you want to get into the Stampede spirit. Max, can I get a big Yahoo? Yahoo! Tico's got great timing. Yeah. Well, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you, Raising Cane, for moderating. Thank you to each and every one of you for viewing and for being part of our flock. If you're new here, give us a like, give us a subscribe. You matter, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, there you go, Max. One close up. Yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you. All right, Max, can I get a buck? Buck, buck. No bucks to give? No. It's a little beaky stretch. All right, folks, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to end YouTube first, then I'll end Facebook, because I got to do these one at a time. All right. Thank you for hanging out with us.